me get this straight, Madison. Let me get this straight. Hold on, sis. Hold on. If they didn't put y'all together with the other couples, then maybe, just maybe, you would have been able to focus on your marriage with Allan. Girl. Girl. So you mean to tell me that you don't have any self control over the things that you decide to do? Okay, once again, finding a way to blame someone else for why you did what you did to Allan. First it was Michelle, and now it's production. Got it. Good. Hey y'all, it's Chloe, and we're back with another video. Married at First Sight, season 18, the reunion, part 1. You guys, we made it to the reunion. We made it to the reunion. I'm so excited to be here with you guys because we definitely got some things to get into. But before we do, if this is your first time here, sit back, relax, watch the video through. And if you like what you see and you like what you hear, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. If you've been here before and you keep coming back, okay? This is not your first review. This may not be your second review. This may not even be your third review, and you have not pressed that subscribe button. Just go ahead. I know it's the end of the season, but it's coming back. Married at First Sight is coming back for season 19, so you want to be here for that, okay? If you are one of my lovely members or subscribers, hey y'all, how y'all doing? Yes, your girl is serving face today. Face, okay? Because y'all, postpartum got my hair thinning really bad, so I think it's time to just chop it, go do a bob. Okay, but now that we got all that out the way, let's go ahead and get into this review. So as we all know, it has been a year since the cameras stopped rolling. A whole entire year, okay? Apparently there's a bunch of group chats where they keep in contact with each other. Basically what they were saying is that Madison and David can't be in all the group chats. That's what they were saying, okay? Camille and Thomas are matching, and they're still married, and they moved into their own place. I am pleasantly surprised, and I am so happy for them. This episode may have sold me on Thomas and Camille. It may have sealed it for me. So I'm like really wishing them the best. Michelle just turned 40, y'all. She looks good. She looks really good. I'm not even gonna hold you. Okay? MM said that she is so happy. She likes where she landed. Her and Brandon are still together. She said it hasn't been easy, but she loves having a partner. I don't like the way she worded it. I really don't. Something about I love having a partner instead of saying I love having him by my side. I don't know. I don't like the way it's worded. I don't, but I'm gonna move on. Okay. So I can still be an a-hole because that's just who he is, right? Kevin asked him, "Are you dating?" I'd rather leave that to myself. Sir, it's yes or no. Yes or no, dating or not. Nobody asked to get all in your business. Chill, calm down. It's not even that serious, okay? Carla and Juan apparently are friends. They're hanging out. So I guess Juan did get that friendship that he wanted so bad from Carla. I guess he really did, right? Allan said that he is actually dating someone, and the person that he is dating was someone that he had dated before the show. So apparently he went on a date with a girl, and the girl called him back a day before the wedding and was like, you know what, let's go on another date. And he was like, well, I'm getting married. And she was like, oh, well, good luck with that. So now that everything is over, he decided to reach out to her, and they just been kicking it, and they just been dating. So I wonder if that's the girl in the video that I showed y'all. Either way, good for you, Allan. Good for you. I would be lying if I said that you still don't have that hurt behind your eyes, because it's definitely still there. It's definitely still there, okay? David and Madison, matching. So, of course, we know that they're still together. They're still together. Kevin was like, so I'm assuming you moved out of your mama's basement into Madison's apartment? And she was like, yeah. And I want to add that I purchased an investment property. I mean, we purchased an investment property. Child. Yeah, I want to believe that maybe you did, but knowing y'all history of lying, I just don't believe it. Unless Juan got a video of that too, I do not believe it. But nonetheless, they are happy. Good for them. So Kevin wanted to get right into the things. Okay, he said we don't have all night. We only got 2 hours. Let's get into it. So the first thing he said was, when did things start heating up between you and Madison, David? Okay, and David was about to start lying like he always do, talking about something. Well, at first, I was attracted to her from the very beginning, and then Madison had to cut it. It was like, well, it was around the third week for me. Yeah, cut your man off. Cut your man off, because he about to spill the beans. He's about to put y'all on blast. The third week? The third week. Okay. And then David jumped in and admitted that he did find her attractive ever since the honeymoon, right? But he was fighting those feelings because he was really, really trying to make it work with Michelle. Because, that's what he came here for, to really make it work. So he had to fight those feelings that he was developing for Madison on the honeymoon. Right, right. And because he was fighting those feelings, he was reaching out to his family, his friends, and everybody just to get some advice. And that's how he ended up talking to Madison, because she was there to comfort him. She was there to console him and ask him how his day was going. So then Allan jumped in and was like, got a question. Got a question. So when did you decide that you was going to reach out to your friend's wife? David? When did you decide that you was going to reach out to your friend's wife? David said when they moved back to Chicago, that's when he, reached out to Madison. Lie. Now, Allan's confused because he's like, now, I'm a little confused because we went out for beers. We were hanging out. We were talking. We were chilling. Why didn't you confide in me? Why you ain't confide in me? Instead, you went to my wife? Make it make sense, David. Make it make sense. Because they had been already doing whatever it was that they were doing since the honeymoon. I don't want to say hooking up because then everybody's going to be in my comments like, how do you know that they had sex? Listen, whatever they was doing, they've been doing it since the honeymoon. Period. Okay? So now Allan said that he felt like his friend was playing him. And he feels away. He's actually kind of mad because they made him look like a fool. They definitely did. They played in that man's face the whole entire season. Okay? Had that man sitting there working hard, changing things about himself, and them two just sneaking around, fooling around behind his back. And then smiling in his face. Even telling him how much, I'm trying to work on this marriage with you. That's what Madison was saying. And then David, oh yeah, bro, everything's great. Meanwhile, them two doing whatever they doing behind his back. Played in his entire face. Yes, they did. Now, David was like, as a man, I should have been real with you. I know I should have. But I'm going to just keep it 100 with you. I shot my shot. You said that like you really did something. You said that like it's something to be proud of. Like, I just shot my shot. No, nothing about that is cool. Nothing. Because then you sitting back like you him. You're not him. Child. Kevin wants to know what made Michelle keep pushing the daggone issue, because we realized that Michelle was never going to let it go. And I'm going to say every time, I'm so happy she never let it go, because baby, we needed to get down to the bottom of this, because they would have been able to get away with this all the way to the end, because that was the plan. But Michelle blew that plan all the way up. So then Michelle said, I hate being lied to. This ain't got nothing to do with nothing. Just don't lie to me. David said, oh, I thought you was just going to let it go. She said, well, apparently you don't know me. And he don't because, baby, the way Michelle was investigating this, you would have thought that she actually cared about David. You would have thought. But at the end of the day, I think it was more so the fact that, she ain't like being lied to, like she said. And then once I feel like she thought it was for Madison, she really had to get to the bottom of this. She really did. So then we get a never before seen of Madison. Madison is in the confessional talking big-ish, okay? Madison talking about she don't know why she's being brought into this. I don't know why Michelle's bringing me into this. I don't have nothing to do with what her and David got going on. She said that she wanted Michelle to come talk to her off of camera. And I'm like, for what? For what? The same way you and David sneaking around behind camera, you want to do everything off camera. Don't sign up for a reality TV show if you don't want to do things on camera. And then got the nerve to say that Michelle was grasping for straws. And her going about this is so immature and it's so childish. Madison, you are a bold-faced lie. The way she sat in that confessional and was just talking like she was just so innocent. And Michelle was crazy. This is why Michelle had to keep digging. Because y'all really was sitting in that girl face trying to make her seem like she didn't know what was going on when she knew damn well what was going on. Y'all see how good of a liar Madison is? Y'all see how good of a liar Madison is? Because for 1 second, I almost believed her. For 1 second. The same way Allan almost believed her. So then Kevin was like, Michelle, what you got to say about that? Michelle says, you know what? I'm not going to say nothing. I'm going to stay quiet. I'm going to keep my immature ass out of this. Now, so Madison's like, well, I don't want to rehash this. And Michelle was like, well, I think that's kind of what we're here for. It's called a reunion. Like, that's what they do at the reunions. And then Madison's like, you know what? Let's just burn this ish down. Like, what we got to lose at this point? And so I'm sitting here like, are you about to finally be honest about what you and David been doing the whole time? Are you, Madison? No, y'all. No, she not. No, she not. She's going to continue to sit there and lie. Michelle was like, I was talking about that text message for a long time. And you just sat there and lied. You just sat there and you kept lying. So Kevin said, Madison, why didn't you just tell Michelle? Why didn't you just be honest with her? So Madison said that, she didn't think that Michelle would handle it well. I think Michelle would have handled it well as long as y'all would have just told her the truth, because honestly, she didn't really care too much for David anyway, okay? But she said that she had asked Michelle why she didn't ask her that off camera. And Michelle said, because this is a reality TV show. And it is. I don't know why it was like this big thing or trying to make it seem like, oh, I'm doing this for TV. No, everything that y'all are doing is being televised. So if you're going to be messing around with my husband and lying to my face about it, I'm going to ask you on the camera. I sure am. And I'm trying to be like, Madison, just because you and David like to, sneak off behind the cameras don't mean that that's how everything is supposed to go. You signed up for this, own up to it. Just own up to it. So Madison said, well, this is my real life and I'm not perfect. I apologize. And that person in the video is not me. It's not who I am today. Woo, child, the liar just be going on and on and on. Because Madison, you know what? Maybe that's not who you are today. Who knows? Maybe David made you a better person. Maybe, okay? Ultimately, Michelle accepts her apology, but ain't no way in hell they gonna ever be friends. It's just not gonna happen. So then Kevin was like, but look, Michelle, what if Madison came to you like, well, you're not feeling him. Do you mind if, I take a shot at him or whatever? And Michelle was like, I would have said, it's only 8 weeks. Chill out and then go for it. Isn't that what we said they should have did? Like, just wait the 8 weeks? I think that's what we was telling them that they should have did. Everybody that was in the comments like, it doesn't really matter. It does matter. It's only 8 weeks. Just wait the 8 weeks. So then Madison said, I don't know why they were even going to try to ride it out for the 8 weeks if she knew she didn't want to be with him. So then Michelle was like, but wasn't you going to ride it out with Allan? Oops. Madison saw something, but I was trying initially. Girl, shut the hell up. You never tried. Okay? So then Allan jumped in like, right, it's only 8 weeks. And the focus should be on the marriage because that's what this is about. Whether you're struggling, whether you're having a hard time or not, either ask for a divorce or try and make it work. Don't go sneaking behind everybody's back and then lying about it while y'all having a little rendezvous. Like, no, get out of here with that. Y'all are not victims. I can't stand how Madison and David are really sitting here like they don't kind of understand. It's like they keep apologizing, but they keep making excuses in the process of apologizing. Either you're sorry or you're not. David literally sat there and told Allan he apologized to him, but he just want to keep it 100 because I shot my shot. Out of here. I get out of here. So now that, Allan jumped into the conversation and was like, right, it's only 8 weeks. Now Madison want to get upset. You know what? I'm going to just stop talking. I'm just going to stop talking because everybody's entitled to their opinion and they can have their opinion. Oh, so you really only got the smoke for Michelle. So you're doing all of this because you want to defend David. You're doing all this because you want to show David that you got his back. You're doing all this because deep down inside, you know that David's still attracted to Michelle. That's kind of what I'm getting a little bit, because what are you doing all this for? You was ready to knuck if you buck with Michelle, but as soon as Allan said the same thing that Michelle said, now it's, you know what? Everyone can just have their opinions. Madison, you're a coward. You are a coward. So Kevin wants to know, how often were they together outside of filming? How much did they talk? How much did they hang out? Madison said they pretty much talked every day. So instead of nurturing your relationship, when Allan was saying, oh, I just want to have time with you. I just want to spend time with you. I just want to do things with you. You rather do that stuff with David. But you was trying. Okay, never mind. So Kevin was like, so how many of those times that y'all was out late were y'all together? Madison goes, no, I really was out with my friends. All those times. Lies, and more lies, okay? She said they only went out that one night, and that was the night her and Allan got into an argument over the transactional comment that he made. And that was the night that she called David and went to hang out with him. I guess, child. I guess. So then Kevin asked the cast how they felt about finding out about David and Madison, and MM said that she was shocked, okay? She didn't think David would do that to Michelle. She was literally shocked. I think we all were, because a part of us was rooting for David, and a part of us wanted David to have this happy ending. We already knew he wasn't going to end up with Michelle, but two wrongs don't make a right, and what he did was wrong. And if we're going to hold Michelle to a standard, then we have to hold David to a standard. Because like everyone's saying, it's only 8 weeks. It literally is only 8 weeks. So Carla said that there was a list of opportunities for the truth to come out. There was more than enough time. She said that they sat around, they joked all the time, like, you want my husband, you could have him. Like, the opportunity was there. She never, ever took it. Okay? Juan said that, when he first found out, it was hard for him to trust David. It was really going to be hard for him to trust him. And Thomas said that he felt stupid. He felt absolutely stupid because he had been defending Juan for so long. And then on top of that, he felt bad for Allan. Absolutely. That's how I felt. I felt stupid because I had been defending you this whole time, David. The whole time. And then you did some grimy, sneaky-ish. You really did. Had me feeling bad for you and sorry for you. Meanwhile, you doing whatever you doing with Madison in the background. Child. Anyway, I said that he not surprised. Okay, he said, I saw this from day one. The first time I saw them in the gym, I said, oop, it's something there. David was doing cardio. David don't do no cardio. We can tell. We can tell. Okay. He said, but F it, who cares? They love each other, and that's all that matters. I mean, now that's all that matters. But like, how did we get here? How did we get here? Child. Anyway, Madison said that she regrets not saying anything, but she does not regret not following her heart. Because now she has her David. And she loves him so much. You know what? I really, I'm gonna be honest. If David and Michelle are happy, I am happy that they are happy. Everyone deserves to find their person. I just don't like the way that this was done. I just don't. But you know how karma works, right? So I wish them the best. I really, really do. I really do. But then after Madison said that she doesn't regret following her heart, David decided that he was going to apologize to Allan once again. Okay? He apologized to everyone. He said he was just trying to protect Madison. And he really wished that he would have told Allan, no, you don't. No, you don't. You don't wish that you would have told Allan. Because the way you and Madison been flying around in their face ever since after decision day, there's no way in the world you wish that you would have told him. Because you could have. And when you did, it was only because Madison probably forced you to go do it because she wasn't woman enough to do it herself after Michelle grilled her ass. But hey, I digress. I digress. They have on commitment rings, and Juan was there to get it on video. So I guess you got your trust back, Juan, huh? Because now you're hanging out with them, recording them, getting, rings, commitment rings or whatever. And I'm just saying here, like, commitment rings. I guess. I mean, y'all signed up to be married at first sight, right? And y'all getting commitment rings. Like, I thought y'all want marriage so bad. Why y'all just don't get married? Y'all love each other so much. Y'all can't stop touching and hugging and feeling and kissing. Y'all buying properties together and whatnot. What we doing with commitment rings? Why we just don't get married? Y'all broke up 2 marriages. You might as well go ahead and make one. Let me move on. So Camille and Thomas sit down with Kevin. Of course, we know Camille and Thomas are still together. This is a really, 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 really pretty picture of Camille. She looks really beautiful, okay? They said that it has been fun and steady. They went to London for their 1-year anniversary. They've been traveling. They just been enjoying each other. So Kevin asked Thomas when did he know Camille was the one, and Thomas said, it was basically a couple of weeks after the honeymoon. I just knew. And Camille said that, she didn't want to make it seem like she was dragging him. She didn't want to make it seem like she was dragging him and didn't like everything about him because that's not what it was. Girl, you said that man got no swag. Then you said he wasn't black enough. You was going in on Thomas. You really was. What you need to be doing is apologizing. That's what you need to be doing. Not saying you don't want us to think that because that's what you did. Apologize to that man. But anyway, I'm sure they talked about it and got over it. We talked about, the issues that they went through, about, him being biracial and how she didn't think he was black enough for her and how they overcame that. We talked about them having, sex and being intimate and how they, worked through that. They really do seem to be navigating everything very, very well. Camille has a good relationship with his mom. That's good. I'm glad that Thomas has a good relationship with his mom as well, right? And then we saw a never before clip of Camille and Thomas taking a baby class. And it was so funny because he was trying to change this baby, but he had his whole arm on his baby neck. I was like, child, don't never let that man change no diaper because he's going to suffocate the baby. Oh no, they were swallowing the baby. I mean, Thomas, you gotta chill, sir. You gotta chill. But nonetheless, they're not thinking about having babies until like maybe another year. Camille said that she felt like she was put on this earth to be a mom. And you know what? When she said that, I don't know why I didn't expect Camille to want to be a mom. I don't know. I know she talked about having kids, but for her to say that she felt like she was put on this earth to be a mom, I didn't expect that to come out of her. I really didn't. Thomas said that he also feels like he was put on this earth to be a father. And I really do hope that, this marriage works out for them and that they have the beautiful family that they both deserve. I really do. So and Ike sit down with Kevin. And I had to mentally prepare myself because I didn't know if my blood pressure was going to get worked up or if I was going to have to take a break. I didn't know if I was going to be yelling at the screen. Okay, so I had to prepare myself for the scene, right? So yes, like Kevin said, this marriage right here really left us with a lot of questions because what in the actual F happened, okay? I said the wedding day was fun. said the wedding day was fun. So it wasn't the wedding day. Everything was good during the wedding day, right? So then we watched a never before clip of and Ike, in a diary cam talking about how they're going to really get to know each other. We're going to really get to know each other. I mean, Ike was emphasizing a lot about how they were going to get to know each other. So they both agreed that it was a good time in the beginning. So said that things changed when they got back to Chicago and it started to become very, very surface. And Ike just agreed to the fact that they just did not mesh well. But Ike did say that he realized how stubborn he was and that he also realized that she just learns different than how he learns. The experts told y'all that. The experts told y'all that and you did nothing about it. Don't come up here trying to play Mr. Nice Guy now. Oh, I had self-discovery. The experts told you that you two are learning different. You did nothing different. Okay, I see you not trying to be an asshole, but your facial expressions, the eyes, says it all. Says it all. Okay. So then Kevin asked him what he meant when he said that MM was aggressive. He said he wished he would have said that she goes after what she wants and she doesn't stop till she achieves them. Ike is lying again, okay? We done heard four different versions of what he meant by that daggone aggressive word. First, it was him and Emmett was talking about stuff behind scenes, and then she was going back telling the family, and that's why he calls her aggressive. Then it was, oh, she was just, coming on to him very, 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 very strong, so that's why he calls her aggressive. And then now it's because now she's a go-getter. She just goes after stuff, and she hasn't stopped till she achieves it. Child, go away. Ike just lying. Just lying. If it sounds good, he's going to say it. Trust me. Now, MM said that she felt like that was a direct attack at her. And it's especially hard to hear as a black woman who works hard for everything that she has, because we always get labeled, no matter how hard we work for something, how demanding we are, it's always aggressive. It just can't be trying to get ish done. You know what I mean? So she felt like that was a personal attack. And it was. It definitely was. And he could try to clean it up any type of way he wants, but we already know what was up. We really do. So Kevin's like, but you wanted a Michelle Obama, and MM's a Michelle Obama, but he's not a Barack. See, that's the thing. You want her to be a Michelle, but sir, you're not a Barack. How does that work? Don't you think that Michelle deserves a Barack? Come on, 1 + 1 = what? 2. Okay. Follow me here. So then Kevin asks, do you feel like men are intimidated by your success? And MM said yes. And when they get intimidated, they try to belittle her, just like I did. Just like I did. Did you feel that way, MM? Yes, she does feel like he belittled her. He said that he didn't try to belittle her and she's entitled to her feelings, but that is not the truth. Her feelings are valid, but it's not the truth. Ike, you definitely tried to belittle her. You did. Every instance you got, you tried to embarrass her. Every chance you got. We have facts. The tacos, the anniversary dinner, the retreat. Like, there are multiple times where you literally wanted to bring her down, calling her aggressive. There are so many times where you literally just wanted to suck the life out of her, calling her asshole. I mean, damn. Can I keep going? Because at this point, you did. So to say that that's not a fact, it's crazy. It's crazy. So then Kevin brought up how, he said that MM was violating his consent. MM said, but he was giving me mixed signals, and was. She said that he was the first person who initiated the sexual advances, okay? So then she thought that the door was open to that. So then, she started to, initiate some sexual advances as well. But whenever he would say stop, she stopped. Whenever he would say stop, she stopped. And then she would ask, why? So I'm just sitting here like, why? Why, Ike? Why? Be a man and say it. Say it with your chest when you say it too, okay? So Kevin said, what made you just go ice cold? What made you just say, I'm done? And Ike finally said what he should have said from the very mother effing beginning, that he was not attracted to her sexually. So let me rewind this a little bit. bring it back. Okay. So you're not attracted to her sexually, but you thought that it was going to be okay for you to take her hand and put it on your penis. Help me out. You're not attracted to her sexually, but you was going to put her hand on your penis. Go away from me. Go away from me. And I feel like you could have talked to her about that. This is married at first sight. Everyone's not going to be attracted to everyone that they get married to. Because if looks was that important to you, this is not the show for you. Which is why I never understand why people are who are like, oh my God, they have to look like this, or that this is the image that I have. Sign up for a show like Married at First Sight when you know that there's a 50-50 chance that you may not be attracted to the person that you are paired with. And the point of this is to go for something that you normally wouldn't go for on your own and see if you can make this work, which is why I hate as soon as someone realizes they're not attracted to them, they no longer want to entertain that person, because that defeats the whole purpose of Married at First Sight. So Emmett wants to know why he just didn't tell her that. And he's like, he didn't want to embarrass her. And she's like, but you embarrassed me basically the whole season and you kept sending me mixed signals. Exactly. Like, sir, I'm losing brain cells trying to make all this make sense. I really am. So then we get to the letter that she wrote for Ike. And she said that she didn't mean to wish him the worst at that moment because she was hurt. But she does not actually wish him the worst. Ike said in that moment, he didn't pay no attention. Because he knew it came from a place of hurt and he just wanted her to get it out so he could get out of there. That's all he wanted to do the whole season. He never wanted to be there. He never wanted to be there. He did the bare minimum. Shaking my head. Chased after a show for years to come up and do the bare minimum. You were so ready to find a wife, but you don't find her sexually attractive. So therefore, you're not even going to give her a chance. Instead, I'm going to embarrass her. Instead, I'm going to belittle her. Instead, I'm going to call her names. Instead, I'm going to accuse her of SA. So instead of just being a man and say, I'm not sexually attracted to you, this is something that we need to work through. Okay? Or instead of just saying, I realize that you're not the right woman for me, you literally dragged this woman for absolutely no reason. You literally attacked her character for nothing. If you put all this together and everything that they just talked about, he literally attacked this woman for nothing. All those things that he kept saying about how she made him feel. She made him feel. And out his mouth, it really only came down to you wasn't sexually attracted to her? Damn. Damn. If this is what you do to someone you're not sexually attracted to, I can only imagine what you do to others. Child. Then he talked about how, he was walking on eggshells and, it was hard to talk to her, so he just shut down. You wasn't even being honest when you talked to her. Just making up stuff, just talking just to talk. Once again, trying to make her look bad. Said that she wished she didn't try so hard. She learned not to be too into the other person in a relationship and to focus on herself, okay? She said she's going to be into a person as much as that person is into her. I hope so, I hope so. Because when I give my commentary next week on you and your husband, fiance, whoever, I really hope that what you just said about focusing on yourself, even in a relationship, and not being too into the other person, I really hope so. Okay? I said that, he definitely wouldn't do Married at First Sight anymore. He's ready for marriage, but not this type of marriage. Go away. Go away. I don't have nothing to say. Have nothing to say to him. So now Madison and Allan sit down with Kevin. So Kevin said, Madison, from the start, how invested were you? She said she was invested, but then she started getting in her head because she realized that her and Allan just wasn't compatible. No, you started getting in your head because you realized that you was into David. Hey, let's go. Allan said he can tell that she wasn't really feeling him because she would tense up every time he would go to touch her, but he kept thinking that, eventually that would change. So Kevin said, Madison, I know you were struggling with attraction, but do you feel like you gave it your best shot? Y'all. So instead of Madison actually answering the question that was asked to her, she said, I feel like Allan gave it his best shot. She makes me so mad because that's just admitting that you know that you didn't give it your best shot. You know you never really gave Allan a chance, okay? But then she said that she was trying to give it the benefit of the doubt that eventually she would get comfortable, but she just kept feeling uncomfortable a lot. So Allan was like, wait, so what made you uncomfortable? What made you uncomfortable? And she was like, no, I'm just saying, like, I just saw you as a friend. And I just didn't know how to communicate that. You did. You did. You could have literally just said, Allan, I just see you as a friend. Was that too hard? Was that too hard? So Kevin was like, Allan, do you think things would have been different if she wasn't focusing on someone else in your marriage? Allan said that he feels like they would have had a better chance at probably making this work, but he knew ultimately that it wasn't going to work. So then Madison is like, I wish we didn't have so much communication with the other couples. Because being around the other women is just like complaining. It's like a bitch fest. You know, all we do is talk about the marriages and this, that, and the other. And it takes the focus off our marriages. Excuse me, no. What takes the focus off of your marriages is sneaking behind trying to date other people's husband. That's what takes the focus off of y'all marriages. I have never sat down and talked to my sister, my mom, a friend about my marriage and my husband and was like, I can't stand talking about my marriage with these people because it takes the focus off my marriage. That's not how this works. So instead, you're trying to make it seem like it's the way that the show is produced. Now, don't get me wrong. There was a time where we didn't have all this couple-to-couple interaction. There was a time when y'all had to pick who house y'all was going to stay in. And baby, trust and believe you wouldn't have wanted to stay with David because he lives in the basement of his mother's house. He moved into your house. I'm not going to do it. Nope, not going to do it. Not going to do it. Not going to do it. But nonetheless, Madison, you are an adult. Everything can't be someone else's fault. It's Michelle's fault that you was messed around with David. It's production fault that you messed around with David. Make it make sense? It's not making sense. So Allan was like, he feels like if they didn't have communication with the other couples, they would have at least seen the process through. Of course they would have, because she wouldn't have had someone else to go and confide in. She wouldn't have a gym buddy at 6 a.m. She wouldn't have anyone to, sneak text messages in front of Allan with. Of course they would have. Madison doesn't regret necessarily doing what she did with David because she loves David and she got her David and she happy with her David. But she also feels like Allan didn't deserve this. And if she knew that she would eventually end up with David in the future, she would regret this. But because she still had to go through this and ended up with David, she don't regret this. Child, I really hope that y'all get married, have kids, and live the life that y'all both deserve. I really do. I really, really do. So then Kevin was like, well, how did you feel about seeing Allan making all these changes? Madison said she hated how much effort that he was putting in because he didn't deserve it. But she also didn't know how to tell him. She just didn't have it in her. Excuses. At this point, it's done, it's over with. It's too late. We can't go back. It just is what it is, okay? So Kevin wanted to know when she started going upstairs to talk to David. She was like, hold up. We ain't never go up nobody's stairs, okay? We was never in nobody's apartment. Our spot was the gym. That was our spot. That's where we bonded. She said she knew that there was something there because she was ready to risk it all. Her reputation, her image, everything. That's how she knew that it was something there really, really strong between her and David. And this is why I say I really hope that y'all have the life y'all deserve, because if y'all was willing to risk your reputation and risk your image to be together, baby, I hope that y'all are really, really happy. I really do. Okay. So then we watched the clip of Allan, punching the walls and kicking the stove or whatever when he was so mad. And Kevin asked Allan, would he have handled that situation different today? Allan said, nah. Nope. I was hurt. I was processing it and I just went through the motions the way I went through the motions, okay? He said that he did eventually get over it, maybe like a week later. But nonetheless, him and Madison are cordial now. They are very well. She wants to meet his girlfriend. No, no, no. You don't need any access to that man. When you had the access to him to just be a decent human being, you didn't do that. So you don't deserve the access now. I'm just saying. So now Kevin is with all the ladies. They answer some quick questions. Camille gives the best advice. Carla's the life of the party, but Madison is the shot queen. Carla is pretty much in touch with everyone. Michelle says she's pretty much in touch with everyone except for Madison, okay? Camille and MM live around the corner from each other, so they're really, really close. Kevin asked them how did they feel about, finding out that MM was engaged. Baby, I thought they was going to roll that tape back on Carla saying that she thought that man was a red flag. I was waiting for it, but they never showed it. But they were all saying that they was just shocked. Like, oh my goodness, this is fast. This, like, girl, what's going on? I'm like, yeah, Carla, did you say it was a red flag? Did you say that? No, you didn't say that. Okay. So MM tells them that she appreciates their support. And we discussed Camille and Thomas. Everybody's happy for Camille and Thomas. Okay, we discussed what type of man we think Carla needs. Carla needs a lover boy, according to Camille. She thinks that she needs someone who's going to allow her to be herself and not dim her light. And I totally agree. Okay, when it comes to Michelle, she feels like Michelle's going to need someone that's going to help her open up. And I totally agree. But Michelle's also 40 years old. And a lot of times when people were up in their 40s, they're a little bit more, stuck in their ways. So it's going to take a lot to get Michelle walls down. A lot. Okay, so then we watched a clip of Carla telling Madison about herself, about how, I can't be friends with women like you. Y'all remember that clip, right? And Madison said that she appreciated the way that Carla held her accountable. Well, I'm glad you know what accountability is, girl. I am. Kevin said, Carla, did you notice anything that night when y'all went to the club when a text message was sent? She did realize that they had disappeared, and that was kind of suspect to her, but she didn't want to just bring it up because she didn't know what was going on. And then, Madison's still cutting and talking, but I had lost my phone, remember? I was going back and forth because I had lost my phone. Girl, bye. You didn't lose your phone. At this point, what y'all lying for? I just want to know, what's the point of still lying? Just be honest. Just be honest, okay? But Carla said after finding out everything, she just realized that maybe this isn't the friendship she wants. She doesn't know if she wants to be friends with someone like that. Well, you seem to be friends now. So it didn't phase you that much, Carla. I'm just saying. So then, of course, Michelle has to cut in because she's still upset. And I'm really it's been a year, Michelle. She wants to know the timeline. I feel like at this point, whether we find the timeline out or not, it's pointless. They've been doing what they've been doing regardless. They're together now. They live together. They have commitment rings. You finding out exactly when this started is not going to make anything different. It's not. So, I think it's time to let this go. You got the truth. It's been a year. Everything's over and done with. Let it go. Michelle still has a lot of animosity, a lot of bitterness she's holding on to. And baby, it's time to let it go. It really is. Okay. And then she said, hearing Madison in the video saying that she's childish and immature the whole time, knowing that she was lying. Girl, you must got me effed up. But Madison said that she doesn't blame Michelle for the way that she feels. No, I don't blame Michelle for the way that she feels. A lot of y'all feel like I don't have no sympathy for her, and no one's saying have sympathy for her, but you can't blame the woman for being upset that the people were lying to her face. I just don't understand that. But anyway, Michelle then goes into the back because now she wants to talk to Allan and try to put a battery in Allan's back because she feels like they aren't taking accountability. They just keep trying to shut stuff down. And Allan basically is like, just let it go. The more you keep bringing it up, the more you talk about it, the more control they have. Just let it go. And that's how I am at this point. Michelle, what's done is done. What's said is said. Just let it go. Madison and David are going to lie to the very end. The only thing that they're going to admit to is the things that they have no choice to admit to. This reunion is almost over. If they can just get through a little bit more of it and without actually admitting when they started messing around, they will. You will never, ever get the truth. Let it go. Move on. Be happy. And child, as soon as I said move on, we got to talk about Michelle and David. I feel like we just hitting a dead horse, like we beating a dead horse at this point, okay? Michelle and David sit down with Kevin. David talked about how he disappointed a lot of people, his mother, his father, his aunt. People were very disappointed in him. Michelle said that she wished she had reacted differently to, how she acted towards David, but she doesn't think it would have changed her mind because at almost 40, she didn't see herself with someone who lives in the basement, yet alone marrying someone who lives in the basement. Okay? Kevin said, how was it being rejected? He said that it was hard. He didn't know who to talk to. Oh, child. David's still trying to do the sympathy thing. He's still trying to do that. And Kevin said, but you had already started talking to Madison, though, right? And so then you decided to sneak around with Madison, right? So I'm just saying. You saying you ain't have nobody to talk to. Clock it, clock it, clock it. Because y'all really want to sit here and act like y'all don't know that this man has been messing around with Madison since the honeymoon. While he was saying that he was trying. Because remember, it was a honeymoon. Then we went through a few of them therapy sessions with Dr. Pia. Right? And Pastor Cal before he actually admitted to when he was messing around with Madison. The whole time saying that he was trying and trying and trying, right? Michelle said that she's not angry that he's with Madison. She's angry because they're not taking accountability. And she's mad because they were lying to her for weeks. For weeks. She doesn't think that the timeline of the story is accurate. And he said, if that's how you feel, then that's how you feel. David's lying because that's what David says when he's lying. Believe whatever you want. Believe whatever you want. And Kevin said, well, I feel the same way. And I was like, me too. I feel the same way. I definitely feel like y'all have been messing around longer than y'all say y'all have. And he's just like, well, feel how you want to feel. And Michelle was like, well, my feelings have been very accurate. And they have. We can't even hold you on that. But Kevin started pushing and pushing and pushing because he is not letting up. Kevin want the timeline too. Kevin want the timeline too. Because he said, was you and Madison messing around when you sent that text to Madison? Had y'all already been messing around? Baby, I don't know why y'all keep asking David and Madison these questions. I don't know why y'all keep asking David and Madison the same questions. They're going to lie. They're going to lie. I just think like at this point, let it go. Everybody let it go. I don't want to hear about it no more after next week. I don't. But anyway, y'all, that was the reunion part 1. A lot of things was repetitive, but that's kind of what the reunion is. It's like a repeat of everything that happened during the season. I want to say that I am very, very happy for Camille and Thomas. I am happy for MM. I do have some words. I do have some commentary, but I'm going to save that for next week. And some of y'all might be mad at me for it, but we'll get there when we get there, okay? Ike, just go on with your life, sir. Go on with your life. He tried his best to not show his ass, and I might say he did a good job at it. He really did. He really did, okay? And who I'm missing? Allan. Allan says he's over it, but I don't know. Something in his face saying he not completely over it. He really not. But nonetheless, I wish everybody the best. Everybody the best. And I'll be back to talk about part 2 next week. So y'all go ahead, like the video, leave your comments down below, subscribe to the channel, hit that like button, hit the like button, okay? Drop me some yellow hearts to let me know you was here. And with all that being said, I'll talk to you guys later. Peace.